The judge said, "None of you have been in any big trouble before," but this wasn't true. Two of the teenagers who raped the two girls in Hampshire had been reported to the police before for alleged sex crimes. As little as 10 days before the boys would rape one of the girls, they were reported to the police for an alleged sexual assault. The mother of a 14-year-old girl reported them because her daughter alleged she was grabbed by the neck by one boy, and the other boy allegedly put his hand up another girl's skirt during the same incident. The police say they investigated it, but there wasn't enough evidence to do anything with it, so the boys went free. By the way, the police didn't even interview the boys. Great investigating. The same mother contacted the police again 2 weeks before the second rape, writing, "Once again, the boy who allegedly attacked her daughter is showing controlling, abusive behavior to young girls, which he continues to get away with. Has everyone become complacent to his behavior? I can't begin to express my concerns on this." And there were other reported crimes. One of the boys, who was 10 in 2022, was reported to the police for using his bike to corner two girls and say sexualized things to them. Hampshire police say there was an investigation and they didn't take it any further. Two of the boys were reported for allegedly damaging property and hitting and killing a duck with a catapult. And also, they were reported to police for bullying children to steal alcohol for them from one of the town's local convenience stores. All of this was reported to the police, and none of this made it into the pre-sentencing report that the judge would have seen because they technically had no criminal records. The KC for the prosecution told the judge at the sentencing hearing that there are no previous convictions, cautions, reprimands, warnings, or cautions recorded against any of the boys.
This is actually, it's so confusing. I didn't know any of this, and I just don't understand. I just don't understand the story at all now. How did this happen? How does this judge seem to factor? I mean, I don't know what the judge was thinking, but why were they not thinking about the obvious continued harm that's going to come to girls?
There's a reason you don't know about the previous convictions of these three boys, because despite how big this story is, I can find this part of the story about the previous police reports in one article in the Times and nowhere else. In fact, when I was researching this story, it took me almost a day to come across this crucial part of the story. And that's only because I saw the brilliant journalist who uncovered this story and wrote it for the Times, Sophie Wilkinson, post about it on Instagram. Every single media outlet who has covered the story of the judge's lenient sentences for these three boys should also be covering the missed opportunities to stop these boys by Hampshire police.
Yeah, because that is good journalism. That's what we're here for. You know, this reminds me instantly of Wayne Couzens, who was convicted for the kidnap, rape, and murder of Sarah Everard. He had a documented history of indecent exposure 6 years before he attacked Sarah Everard, which police forces failed to properly investigate.
That is exactly it. No one starts with rape. There is a pattern of control and abuse which the media repeatedly failed to highlight. And it's really important that journalists make the connection to the broader issue of power and control, as rape or extreme sexual violence is usually an act that comes after other, lower level but still horrible crimes. This does not happen out of the blue. This does not happen in a vacuum. Controlling and manipulative behavior directed towards women and girls is usually the first sign. And this is why the controlling histories of violent boys and men should be joined up. This is an abject failure of our policing and justice system, and this should be the story every media outlet is running.